Numerous factors have accounted for the rise in both organic farming and, equally importantly, a customer base in the UK, which has made such an approach economically viable for at least some farmers and retailers. The Soil Association's report in the past year reflects the fluctuation in the industry.
Some farmers in particular, I think, are going to have a very difficult year. I think that it's been very difficult for pigs and poultry. Horticultural producers have had 2 dreadful summers, really bad growing conditions, and they are vulnerable, and the market has also been difficult for them. I think on the arable and dairy front, prices are down a little bit, but I hope that most of those farmers who are in the system already and enjoying being organic farmers, because we tend to find that is the case, will be okay and hang on in there.
Sales of organic products increased by 1.7% in Britain last year, amounting to just over £2 billion. There remains a committed core of customers in Britain for such homegrown produce, but the picture varies when considered globally.
It is very variable, and some countries are geared up very much for export. If you look at Australia, New Zealand, and South America, that is basically an export-led production system. In most of Europe, the domestic demand is growing all the time. We're seeing quite strong growth in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, France. That all feels quite positive. Where I'm most excited, though, actually, is in Africa, because organic farming techniques have just such an amazing opportunity to both improve the self-sufficiency of farmers in Africa, improve their soils so that they become more drought resistant, allow people to feed themselves locally, and provide opportunities for export as well, and to provide cash into those economies, which is so vitally needed.
The absence of chemicals in crop production, a distinctive approach to animal husbandry, and a commitment to sustainable development combine to make organic products attractive to some British consumers, despite fears that the recession would mean increased prices.
The reason I've always been an organic farmer is that I think it is part of the solution. If we were producing our food organically worldwide, we wouldn't have the environmental degradation. We would be reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, we'd be reducing the amount of energy we need, and we'd be feeding people more healthily. So I think we do have to see it as part of the solution, and that's a really exciting thing to be able to offer the techniques that we've been developing over the last 30 or 40 years into the mix to try and actually get us back onto a more sustainable platform going forward.
Organic farming accounts for just under 4% of Britain's agricultural land. A small percentage, certainly, but the current financial turmoil may bring about long-term review of food production both nationally and internationally.